great forum relevant to Security Operations Center Summit. My name is Mehzad Sahar. I have been to cybersecurity world for more than 22 years. And I have been working with the banking, telco, oil and gas, and manufacturing industry. And throughout this experience, most of my activities, they were actually in cybersecurity. Today, we will talk about this subject, recognizing and prioritizing business alignment in your powerful security operations center. Okay. The agenda of this presentation is that we will first identify the business objective and settings, clear asset prioritizations. Then we will explore the economy of extend and reach in SOC when establishing control during any attack or during any emergency. Number third will be aligning cyber and enterprise risk by engaging board and management in prioritizing the high-level asset protection. And last but not the least, then we will discuss the proactive measures in establishing end-to-end visibility and safeguarding the integrity of threat intelligence. So before we start, let's discuss some kind of background. And this background is a very much saying, and saying says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. But if you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. The last thing is more interesting. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will stumble in every battle. So the most important thing is a cybersecurity perspective, the number one line, that if you know the enemy and you know your capability, then actually you can chart down the plan to combat against these threat actors. But if you don't know your enemy and even you don't know about your competence, of course, you're going to be defeated in this whole battle. So this is very much important. Now, before we go and talk about Security Operations Center, let's try to understand some more stuff. Before we go and blindly go and introduce the SOC, we should know as a technical guy what are the business goals, what are the business requirements, what are the rules, is there any regulatory requirements which are asking us to introduce this type of 24/7 Security Operations Center or Security Monitoring Center. Do we know that what are the grounds used for which we should introduce the Security Operations Center? Because if we don't know that we are here to protect what, then these are all buzzwords. We are going to waste our company investment for nothing. Also, what are the design security programs already available or we are going to introduce in the future? All they should be actually part of the overall cybersecurity strategy. And the most important thing is cybersecurity always evolve around confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So this CIA stuff actually should be established from top to down so that proper awareness is there and technology processes are aligned accordingly. Now, so in order to create the weightage for each information asset, it is very much important that we should not try to actually protect a asset or a service with a control where the value of the security control is more than the service value. And of course, the business impact analysis or the business case or feasibility will go to protect that service will not be established. You will not be able to go and prove this, that you need this much of budget to protect a service where the service itself is adding very less value and less revenue as compared to the required control money. So these type of calculation for relevant importance are required, and we need to see that out of all different assets, what are the critical assets, and they should be actually ranked. And then after ranking and putting different mechanism to weight them against different analysis worksheet, then we will be in a position to say what is the crown jewel of the organization. So once I say crown jewels, it means the organization is going to be interested to protect what I call information, services, and then you can zoom into that particular asset or service and think about security of the center, and we will discuss further in the upcoming slides. So it is very important before you go and protect anything. First of all, you should know that who are the asset owners, who are the custodians. You should go and meet with these guys, try to understand their problem statement and understand their business requirements. What are the business pains? If the system will go down for X number of hours, can they expect this much of outage? Can they afford this much of outage? What could be the potential loss in hours, and how quickly they want to actually recover this service as soon as possible. I mean, that type of calculation in time actually will allow you to put the control accordingly, right? And then with this type of asset and security categorizations, you should do the impact analysis based on multiple category and threats and vulnerability in a quantitative and also in a qualitative way. So this will, based on some fact or incident history, will give you actually the overall picture of risk and control required to go and fix this risk with the help of some kind of gap analysis. So in this way, rather than no matter you know the crown jewels, now you should have the history of these crown jewels if they went through some kind of security incident, so that you can actually tweak your plan to pay more attention and zoom into this type of crown jewels to protect them with the help of your upcoming security operation center. So typically the crown jewels varies, by the way, from industry to industry. Mostly financial industry is very much known to protect the crown jewel. So if I say the financial industry, it means the banking industry, and the banking, they have multiple endpoints, multiple services. For example, online banking, mobile banking, the payment gateway, and the chatbot, and the ATM, and the bank teller machines, different API gateways, and their integration with the central bank and the core banking, and the customer data residing on CRM, the T24, these type of core banking applications. So this is actually are very much qualified to declare as a crown jewel, because if one of them is compromised, actually that becomes a kind of headline in the newspaper, and then of course a huge reputational damage is possible if this banking industry is going to suffer because of any outage carried through some kind of cyber attack. Same is applicable. Let's take another example of healthcare industry. So in the healthcare industry, the patient information is very much critical, especially in the age of COVID. The patient's data becomes more critical, where actually your COVID positive or COVID negative report, if manipulated and if the data integrity is impacted, it can create a chaos, it can create a disaster. And then actual COVID positive guy, if declare COVID negative, can go and start meeting up people, can actually create more infections. And think about this type of crown jewels of patient data. If someone goes and able to change the blood group, for example, so blood group A, if being changed with blood group B in medical scientific way, if it is given by mistake, the death of that patient is possible because of taking wrong blood during this transfer, and because all this happened because of the manipulation of the data. Third thing is, which is interesting other than financial industry and healthcare, is the manufacturing industry. It's a very diversified industry where we have chemical industry, we have we have fertilizer industry, we have energy sector, we have oil and gas, we have telco. So all they are actually having their own crown jewels. So for example, most in banking sector, we think that the crown jewel is customer data and credit card, and if that is breached, then it becomes a successful cyber security attack. In case of healthcare, already we discussed the customer data relevant to patients is very much important. But in case of manufacturing industry, where we don't call it typically IT, we call it OT security, operational technology security, here the crown jewel is different, and where it is belonging to not traditional IT infrastructure, but the OT infrastructure. And if that one is going to be manipulated, that is going to be actually affected, that can create more disaster, different disaster, because such type of disaster can create a death, human death, because of kind of explosion in the manufacturing industry, because a lot of chemicals are there and they are going to be manipulated. In case of telco, we talk about CDR, the customer data report. So if that one is actually breached, then it can lead towards some kind of security incident of your privacy breach, and someone can start actually finding your location in a way, and then of course they can create some kind of fraud, or they can actually create some fuss for your private and public life. So what I want to say, from industry to industry, the crown jewels varies. Now, while developing the business need of security operations center, these crown jewels and their strategy varies from organization or industry to industry, and that we need to understand. Okay, so after defining the crown jewel, now here we come with the idea of having a security operations. While presenting a security operations center, it is a very common question, logical question, that why the SOC services needed, what value would you get, and how you get it. These are very common questions typical management may ask, and this should be answered very much in a professional way, and we will discuss them one by one. So once we are talking about why SOC services, again, let me quote one very known quotation. It's very disturbing and very annoying statement, that there are two types of organizations: those who have been hacked and those who do not know that they are. So this statement itself is declaring that it's just a matter of knowing that the organization is already hacked. It's just because of the less visibility, if someone might not be aware of this type of compromise. And based on this, who can help you to declare whether you are already compromised or you are compromised, and what we should do here? The role of SOC comes, where actually can give you this type of visibility. As I said in the beginning of this presentation, maybe the threat actors and their capability might be more than our own capability, but it is very important to know who is your enemy, and then at least you can improve your detection mechanism, you can improve your response mechanism based on the type of threat actor. Visibility is the most important thing, which will tell you whether you are under trouble or you are going to be in trouble. And then of course, then you can put the strategy according to the problem statement. But without visibility, you are just like a blind person who's driving a car at night. So SOC for me is the number one priority, because it is gonna actually switch on my light and can give me this type of visibility. And then next course of action can be discussed and can be endorsed by senior management. So typically, why SOC, and the SOC actually will give you visibility that different types of attacks are happening around the world. Trojan, viruses, phishing. So all they are, if they are going to be detected by this centralized channel and centralized service, then actually out of millions of data, files you have, you will be able to actually plan well to protect your organization against these type of different attacks. Yet the most important thing is the planning, because based on different attacks and their maturity and their types, trends, like maybe your industry is mostly being attacked from one country, from one type of threat actors, then you can plan well accordingly, you know. And then if you don't have this type of visibility, then you will be just putting your resources, security, control without any threat analysis, just thinking in the air without any proper strategies and evidence in your hand. So this is very much important to know your threat actors and know the type of attack for which your organization is being targeted. Okay. Now, so SOC actually totally rely on multi-expert skill. This is also very important, because SOC can actually enable your business continuity during disaster, can give you a lot of advices how to react in case of a actual security attack, and which button you are supposed to press to detect, and sometimes to not only detect but prevent these types of real threats, which are coming from tons of data collected and which is being analyzed. So, having said this, as I said, the SOC is not only giving you detection, but expectation it should help you to prevent and then provide you proper protection. As you know, the hackers, they never sleep. Threat actors, you know, they work around the clock, and that's why the SOC availability is considered to be for 24/7 and 365. So around the year 24/7, if this service is up and running, and then actually it can give you the complete visibility and the potential to react against these type of attacks. Because these threat preventions and threat hunting, this is the ongoing journey. So no one can say that as of today we are secure and now we can go back and relax. SOC always keep their organization at their toes, and there is no need to actually go and become relaxed, because you never know whatever is being considered secure as of now. Tomorrow there might be new vulnerability and someone is gonna exploit that vulnerability. And same dashboard of SOC, which was earlier showing normal statuses, everything green, then can start showing amber or red colors, you know, and these pop-up will come. So on a continuous basis, a proper research development and update is required. The SOC should have actually integration with world well-recognized threat intelligence databases, because no single man can do the job. You need certainly help from all these intelligence third parties. And with the help of this, you can actually improve your SOC after giving different feeds, and then can make this database and can make your SOC more intelligent to react against different cybersecurity attacks in a very, very intelligent way. So with this, actually, it will give you confidence in front of your business team that don't worry, we are here to protect your services. You work on business development and we work on making these services are available. Because as I said, in information security, we'll say confidentiality, integrity, and availability. For business people, availability is very much important. For us, confidentiality is top priority. And usually I say, still, you know, the C, which is confidentiality, is very much high priority. Why? Because if that one is breached, then actually it will lead towards the kind of availability issue. Someone, let's say, trying to create a outage in your organization, they will have to actually compromise your data confidentiality. They will actually take your data, they will understand this, and then one day they will come back to interrupt your services, interrupt your business availability. So this is the kind of actually philosophy that is working behind SOC in real time, you know, where actually they are monitoring all such stuff. So SOC is a buzzword, but practically speaking, it has these type of feeds, for example, part of the overall security center. Digital forensic is happening in case some investigation is required. Incident response processes should be well defined. You should have good information security and analysts sitting there monitoring and analyzing different threats in real time with the help of technology, with the help of different threat detection. Threat hunters nowadays, they are very much required all over the world, because these people actually, they go and take things in a different way. They have a totally different aspect or different way of thinking and challenging normal statistics, and then they can bring some hidden or stealth threats out of normal circumstances. Anything which in the name of suspicious activity, if it is happening, that should be captured by the SOC, and continuous security log analysis should happen top of this. So this is the typical security operations center model, which get help from all these different activities. Now, in this slide, people usually may select SOC is like maybe a typical technology, maybe coming from QRadar of IBM or Splunk or Logarithm. There are different vendors, and we call it SIEM. SIEM stands for Security Incident Event Management. SIEM is, I will say, 50% of your SOC, okay? But it is not the only exclusive component. Okay, so SOC is not very much only equivalent to SIEM, but actually it is combination of SIEM technology and also people and process. This is very important. I have seen with my experience, people, they have spent a lot of money in developing and paying huge costs for SIEM licenses, very much heavily charged. But practically, if we go and ask, who is your pilot? Who is your SOC manager? Who's gonna actually let the show? Who will be on the stage? Unfortunately, I have not seen good example in different industry. There is a misconception that after putting all this just technology of SIEM, it will start monitoring and will start protecting. This is totally misconception. At the end, you need the people and processes, because a very much beautiful or very much sophisticated SIEM could become a failure story if there are no proper SOC manager backed by strong SOC analyst and his team, and same with the processes. I give you example. Today, let's say, God forbid, there is an attack. Let's say there is a ransomware attack, and your SOC is actually giving you pop-up. There is an attack, and someone should actually go and react on this. Now, if the SOC manager with his team is not available, or they are taking too much time to understand, or they have not actually in advance placed any process with IT and with technology and with business, that in case of such incident, what should be the course of action, then basically we are simply gonna hit a panic in the organization. And then people, take my word, after the incident, you have very much less time. You have time before the incident where you can talk to people, you can talk to different, and you can develop different processes. If they are aligned, all they are mature. In case of incident, then actually you are in a better shape, that not only technology, but also with the help of wonderful people and aligned processes, you can actually confront the actual attack, and then you can, rather than creating a panic, you can actually contain the incident in a very systematic way, where actually less organization damage will come to overall attack scenario. So this is very important. The proper ticketing system and vulnerability assessment is all happening actually before the incident. And I give you an example, like before the incident, if you have the database of all of your vulnerability assessment record, it will actually give you more information and data and make you more intelligent before actual incident come and knock at your door. So this is the core message. Don't underestimate SOC as a SIEM solution. You'll have to work on people, you'll have to work on processes, and then last you'll have to work on product. So these three P actually, should be taken very much seriously. Now, what if you have developed all these stuff? One thing is very important, that SOC manager or the CISO of the organization should be very much authorized guy. And this all should happen in advance. Like if he's gonna press the red button of incident, a critical incident he's gonna declare, then the whole organization should be sitting and backing this guy during this crisis. If they are not there to back this guy and the SOC manager is not fully authorized, the CEO is not authorized, we are gonna actually hit our head towards the wall, unfortunately. And that, of course, only the threat actor can get advantage of this type of mismanagement. So authority is the most important thing, where the military grade actions are required. And that time, no one should challenge the authority of CISO or SOC manager that why you're asking me to switch down this server or block that port. He should have the bigger picture, and based on this bigger picture, if he's dictating, everyone, whether it is business or IT or HR, should react on timely manner, because the timely response is the key for success against this type of attack. If we are not gonna actually behave on timely manner, that actors, they will laugh at us and they will get advantage of this type of mismanagement. So a proper charter, a proper operation level agreement should be signed with IT, technology, and other business groups, so that you can set your expectation in case of a breach to avoid a lot of damage. Okay. Now the SOC team can produce different industry trends by comparing business value information, so that business can understand the value of all this investment. So there is need to have a proper, to create a proper security framework, incident management processes, and which should be endorsed by top management, so that they get the complete endorsement. Now the placement of SOC itself is an interesting question. For us, it could be under IT, it could be IS department, risk department, compliance department. This discussion is going on. For me, as a CISO, the most important thing is that wherever it is, it should be placed at a very authorized manner, and where all such people during the incident should have the submissive behavior. Submissive behavior, I will repeat 3 times submissive behavior, to listen to the CISO and understand his direction, and make sure that during such crisis, they are listening and taking action accordingly. One interesting stuff here is, like, you never know something in the name of a typical outage. Let's say your router suddenly was shut down. There might be 50% chance this outage could be because of a DDoS attack, because of a cyber security attack. And that's why here the integration of NOC, Network Operations Center, and the Security Operations Center, comes here. They need to work in close collaboration, and they should have, work in the partnerships, because at the end, whether it's down because of the CPU utilizations spikes or because of a cyber security attack, it is the outage. So a very close coordination is required in between CISO and CIO to make the CEO and overall organization successful in case of any disaster. Very much important thing is SOC resources. Nowadays, there is a global shortage of SOC resources all over the world, and these people are very much actually in demand. And typically, there is a misconception that a typical IT operation resource, can work practically. A typical IT operation resource may not be a perfect resource to be placed in the SOC, despite his extensive IT background. SOC analysts actually require a different mindset, different analytic approach, where they always go and see things in a challenging mode, in a critic mode, which mostly the typical IT operation guys are immune. So they can't actually figure out these type of gaps. So we don't need to mix this type of understanding while hiring the resources. and need to make sure that such SOC resources should be highly paid. This is very important because after analyzing all this data, they become the company source, company asset. So that should be well recognized. So in order to get the maximum value, as I said, IT and SOC operation, they should work in collaboration. A typical, let's say, antivirus issues, virus on a typical machine, yes, it can be handled by IT, but viruses coming from different machines and then targeting and correlated in a way that targeting some of the crown jewels should be handled by the security operations center, and actually a proper access, should be given. And nowadays there is a concept of, in addition to a typical SIEM solution, because most of the attacks or compromise happen because of compromising the endpoint machine. So the EDR, the endpoint detection and remediation solution should be installed so that they can give more visibility and control. Because earlier old SOC to just give alert in case of compromise, and then people were running to take control. But with the new methodology, automation is required with the help of security operation, the security orchestration, remediation plan, and automation, where actually with one click remotely you can go and contain the risk. You can disconnect the infected machine remotely on timely manner rather than it become a big risk for the overall organization. One important thing which mostly SOC actually ignore is, yes, you should know different logs coming, but first of all, you should know your architecture. If you don't know the architecture of your whole organization, so you don't know what is false positive, what is normal traffic, what is malicious traffic, what is abnormal traffic. So these type of briefing should be given to SOC analysts first, so that they can figure out to differentiate between malicious and non-malicious traffic, and then can chalk on the plan accordingly. SOC mostly, have, you will find having logs coming from different technologies. So whether it is, I will say, database, application server, OS server, operating systems, web servers, these all logs go through this tunnel where, events per second, like thousands of events per second, they are being processed. Yes, in the beginning, there will be, thousands of stuff, but after correlating them, they will be converted into, let's say, 50 security events and 25 security events, and finally, 5 high-level events of incident will be there. A good SOC with a proactive approach should avoid having any incident. So at the event level, if they're proactively monitoring such stuff, then these events will not turn into an incident. And that is the right approach. A proactive SOC can achieve this type of things. Okay. SOC maturity. For SOC maturity in the world, there are different plans like capability maturity, model integration. So this is one of the best way of actually monitoring your security maturity. We can go and adopt this, and it will help organization to tell where they are, and then can even plan to mature their SOC overall in upcoming years, because there is no overnight build that you can take and then next day your SOC is up and running. And this is itself is an ongoing journey. Usually a typical SOC actually takes 1 to 3 years to become more mature and mature and mature after tuning multiple raw logs and throwing back different noisy logs and getting only those logs which are really adding value. So this is, I will not go to detail in the favor of time. This is the typical picture of CMMI model, where actually a security operations center strategy can be set, which will touch not only business, but people, processes, technology, and different services. So, and one of the most things, as far as it is a very serious topic, it has become a topic of gold of that, especially after COVID-19. So this is very important. We should not meet our board of directors or senior management just after the incident. This is a misconception and mishandling, mostly done by CISOs that only go and talk to senior management and board once there's a problem or once they need a budget. No, with the help of SOC, and keep relation with them, meet them on frequent basis, and tell them because of SOC how many incidents they were avoided. So you can show the type of attacks, and then with the help of your 24/7 SOC monitoring, you can go and prove the overall business value of your SOC that with this investment, by the way, we are able to avoid this much of potential incident, which could lead towards a loss of this much of, let's say, dollar value. If you are a good presenter and you go and present this, I can give you in return that next time if you want to add more control under your SOC value, people or board of directors will love to endorse this type of investment. This is my last slide, where actually, we are living in an age where Gartner, Accenture, all these figures are in front of you, that cyber criminals, they are becoming more and more active, and their money, time, and resources are much, better than us. So there is a huge difference as compared to their investment and as compared to corporate investment. However, this realization is happening, and different companies, they are working on that, and they are making sure to spend more money to avoid this type of attacks, because for threat actors, this is a kind of service, and as far as they are making a lot of revenue, they are highly motivated. The same way, the organization should wake up to invest this type of control like SOC to fight against these threat actors on a timely manner. So I will just say the last, there is no 100% perfection. No SOC can give you full protection, but the most important thing is the visibility and visibility. And where after having the visibility, you will be in a better position to actually chart down the plan against your threat actors, which are very much planned to attack against your organization. Thank you, sir. Now I will ask if there is any question.